Okay, so this is the value of a bullet scene, right? And honestly, there's probably nobody in India who hasn't heard this dialogue before. It's a very common theme, and I'm like, oh, there we go again. You know what? Value of a bullet. You know what? Like in Indian movies, you'll hear like the villain saying it to the hero, "You're not worth the bullet in my gun." The hero saying it to the villain. Random people are saying it to random people ad nauseum. Like everyone's heard of this dialogue. You're not worth the bullet in my gun. And you'd think because I watched Hollywood movies too, they never have this. And I'm like, why is it that only Indian movies have all these like weird things? And I thought maybe it's an Asian thing, but then I saw some reactions of like people from Korea and stuff, and they're also like, this is interesting, value of a bullet. So it's not like a Asian or Eastern thing either. It's just a very endemic to Indian thing, and you'd wonder where all this comes from, and it doesn't even make sense, right? Like fine if the guy's life is not worth the value of a bullet, but what's the value of a bullet to you, man? Just like shoot him and kill him, man. Let's get over with it. But no, it's always got to be there. And this is the movie. This is like when you start wondering, why do we have all these weird dialogues in our movies? Where did we get all this information, and why are we like this? And that's when you start realizing. Now, it has happened that there's been a person, an older gentleman, who did tell me once in India that yeah, the British, they used to say that you're not worth the bullet, in the gun, and then whatever people would have to be killed some other way or something. And you know what my first thought was? I'm like, Uncle, you've been watching too many movies. Honestly, that's what I thought at the time. But no, I think so. This movie actually exposes a lot of oral history. See, so in India, you have a lot of written history, and then you have all these oral histories, right? That just get passed down about how things used to be. And so, yeah, so definitely that is a British thing. They must have done it because that's the only reason why it's only in India that people talk like this. Nowhere else, like in the world, has anyone heard this weird dialogue that you're not worth the value of a bullet. So it probably did happen. I'm sure it didn't happen a lot, but even if it happened like 1% of the time over like 150, 200 years, that adds up to quite a bit. But anyways, just wanted to add that, just tell you that this concept of like value of the bullet is not a new dialogue in Indian cinema. It's pretty cliche dialogue in Indian cinema, but just seeing it from a different perspective. So that was interesting.